In just 1 week of streaming, she's made over $41,000 just streaming.
The creator fees that we had were relatively low. Now they're over 10x higher, and you can earn as much as 5 figures, 6 figures very, very quickly.
For example, Raspberry, he only earned $10,000 in fees prior to this update. With this new update going forward, if he would have been streaming, he would have earned $100,000. People are making thousands of dollars in minutes by creating meme coins on Pump.Fun. Like this guy right here, he's a 70-year-old grandpa who made $70,000 in literally 2 days off of his meme coin. This was him, and he decided to stream himself live on Pump.Fun trading, and he made $64,000 doing so in just 1 day. This is another streamer right here who made over $67,000 in the last week by streaming every single day on this meme coin right here that she created. And this guy right here created this coin, and he's been giving away all the fees, and he made $80,000 to give away to people in 1 week. And this girl right here brought her token to 250K market cap and has already made $30,000 in literally 1 week of streaming on Pump.Fun. It looks like creating meme coins on Pump.Fun is the hottest way to make money in crypto right now. So in today's video, I interviewed the founder of Pump.Fun and asked him for some advice on how to get rich creating meme coins. Enjoy. All right, guys, so we're here joined by the founder of Pump.Fun, Alon. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. So for the people who don't know you, who are you and what is Pump.Fun?
I'm Alon. I'm one of the co-founders of Pump.Fun, which is the place to be if you want to launch your own coin and if you want to trade any coins in crypto. We launched around 1.5 years ago. Since then, it's become one of the most successful crypto companies in history, grossing over $800 million in revenue to date.
If you guys have ever traded meme coins, you've definitely traded them on Pump.Fun already. Recently, last week, they introduced Project Ascent, which allows creators, regular people like you and I, to get paid a lot of money to create coins on Pump.Fun. Alon, I want to ask about the thought process behind this.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, the idea that we had is we always wanted to make it as easy as possible for people to get involved in our ecosystem, create coins, and be successful. We already managed to do that by lowering the barrier to entry extremely significantly when we first came out with our product right around 1.5 years ago. Now, though, we noticed that in order for someone to create a coin, but not just to create a coin, but to be successful and monetize, it's actually not that easy to do that if you're not crypto native, if you don't have a ton of experience. So we wanted to make it easy to monetize, and we also wanted to really closely align the incentives of creators with their token holders, with their fans, with their audience. So we decided that the creator fees that we had needed to reflect that vision. We wanted them to be higher, and we wanted them to really strongly incentivize people to not only create coins, but to continue to work on them after they launch. So before Project Ascend, the creator fees that we had were relatively low. Now they're over 10x higher, and you can earn as much as, 5 figures, 6 figures very quickly by creating a coin that resonates with people.
Okay, look, I want to skip the complicated talk here because a lot of people watching this video probably don't know anything. They saw this video about how to make money creating meme coin. I want to get straight into that. I am someone who has never touched crypto. What are the following steps that I need to do in order to make my first $1,000 online on Pump.Fun? Is this something that I can actually do? Do you think it's realistic to try to make my first 1,000 by making a coin on Pump.Fun?
I think it's completely feasible, and I think the attractive thing about creating a coin is that it doesn't require you to have any money up front, right? You can just create a coin for free on, the Pump.Fun mobile app. That's where I began. I downloaded the Pump.Fun mobile app. You have a variety of different ways to log in. You can also optionally use Apple Pay to buy some Solana so you can trade other coins if you'd like. And then you can create a coin for free. You can create unlimited coins for free. And you essentially have unlimited shots at target. So whether you are a live streamer or an artist or someone with coding skills and want to build projects, you can just iterate on those ideas, pivot, and eventually succeed. And you can get rewarded for that very quickly.
So looking here at Project Ascend, I want to mention a few of the projects that you guys mentioned. For example, Raspberry is a very notable streamer. He does a lot of funny stuff on Pump.Fun live streams. He only earned $10,000 in fees prior to this update. With this new update going forward, if he would have been streaming, he would have earned $100,000. And on this, you have a lot of actual meme coin projects like Trencher, Troll, Based, etc. that obviously the teams behind those coins would have made a lot of money with these new fees. I want to ask you, what do you think it takes? Because there's two angles here, right? I think the most important and easiest angle is the live stream angle. You can go live on Pump.Fun today and showcase who you are to the world. And if they like it and if they think you're doing something entertaining, you'll get a lot of views. You'll create a lot of volume on that coin, earning you a lot of money on these fees. That's one angle to it. There's also the other angle of actual projects launching on this, like actual funny meme coins, actual AI startups, whatever. Remember, I'm someone who's never touched crypto. I don't want to do the live streaming thing. I don't want to put my face on camera. I want to build something cool. What do you think makes a good meme coin? What is something cool that I can earn money off of with fees?
Yeah, that's a really good question. The good thing with memes is that a lot of people are into them. So you can quite easily find friends or find people in groups like Potion, for example, where you can get people's feedback. I think you really just need to be plugged into crypto Twitter. I think that is one really good area to get involved and understand what people are interested in. But there's also other areas and other ways for you to basically get an edge over others and try to understand what you can create to capture the minds of people. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the same principle as, a live streamer or a startup project. You just need to put in the work, try and find out what people like, and just consistently work, and you'll eventually get there. At the end of the day, I still think we're incredibly early, and for this ecosystem as a whole, someone like Orangie would know that if you put in consistent effort, you will have an edge over others and you will succeed.
Would you say it's just getting started?
Absolutely. That's why I've stolen your bit every single time, and I've done it many times now.
So you guys recently introduced the CTO feature, and for anyone who doesn't know what that is, for example, if I went on like the Pump.Fun website, I can see all the coins that are trending up here. And let's say there's a coin down here that I really like, literally any of them, and it's at completely zero, like the dev rug, the dev sold. I'm not gonna pick any of these because you guys can use your own imagination. You like one of these coins and it's completely at zero. You don't want to relaunch it because you don't want to like be copying it. You can actually apply to get those fees directed to you if you take over this project. Like if you want to actually lead the community takeover, which is what a CTO stands for, and create a Twitter community, pay the DEX banner, or whatever it is that you decide to do in order to make this token actually have a community behind it, you can apply here on this form that Pump.Fun posted and have those fees actually paid to you. I want to ask you, have you guys had a lot of people do this already?
Yeah, a ton. I mean, by now, probably hundreds. We've had this feature for a while, but obviously, since Project Ascend launched, people want to get a piece of these fees because the fees are so much more significant than before. The important thing when we look at an application is, have they actually put in the work to prove to us that they're worthy of these fees? Because essentially, we'll be directing fees from one person to another. So we need to ensure whomever we're directing these fees to is actually dedicated to the project. So yeah, as you mentioned, whether it's by leading an X community or a Telegram chat, or whether they pay DEX, those are good signals, but we usually look for a solid track record of someone going at it for at least a couple days to show that they're actually leading this and they deserve this.
Like, for example, I'm going to bring up this completely random coin, by the way. I'm just bringing this up because I've seen it a few days ago. This girl, Eugen, she launched a streaming coin, and she's been streaming for a week. And anyone who knows streaming, look, I was a full-time streamer for many, many years of my life. I played professional Fortnite, and I would stream every single day to literally thousands of viewers on Twitch. And maybe I would end up making 3 to 5K a month. And if I had the opportunity to go back and stream on Pump.Fun, if this was a thing, I would. In just 1 week of streaming, as you can see here, she started her stream September 2nd. She's been consistent with it. She's made over $41,000 just streaming. Alan, what do you think about this? Like, do you guys think you have an actual chance at competing with Twitch and Kick? You're throwing crazy money at people just starting up streams.
Absolutely. I think the business model of traditional streaming platforms is deeply broken. It doesn't really reward creators to the extent that it could. And I think our model is just so much better at achieving that, because unlike on other platforms, which can censor you or force you into deals with casinos or whatnot, on Pump.Fun, you get rewarded directly by your community. There's no middleman. You can earn immediately. You don't have to grind for years to start monetizing. It's just as simple as just creating a coin and starting your live stream. So yeah, we've seen it with a whole bunch of streamers already, and we're going to continue seeing it. And I think one very underrated angle of Pump.Fun streaming is that because of the financial incentives at hand, people are really strongly incentivized to find talent early, because if they find talent early, they could make money by buying these coins. So not only can you monetize more effectively by streaming on Pump.Fun, but I almost guarantee you that every single time a new streamer pops up, they would be better off starting off on Pump.Fun just by virtue of the fact that they're going to get more viewership on day one, because there are people that are trying to find talent early.
Yeah, I'm actually scrolling right now through the Pump.Fun live streams. There's actually looks like hundreds of people live streaming right now, which is pretty crazy to think about. Look, I think there's a few things here at play. I'm going to give you guys the angle of what a professional trader thinks of it like this. If I'm scrolling through here, I want to look at a few things. I want to find a good streamer, preferably with face cam or doing something really cool. I want want to see a like unique name. For example, this guy's playing Minecraft and he's named his token Minecraft. I don't think that's personally a good idea. And I think for a streamer in particular, I would prefer if there was only like one coin that they make. So stick to that first coin you make. And this is just like a tip I'm giving. Maybe Alon has a different perspective on it. Make sure you actually give it some thought, like what you name your coin, because you don't want to be like, this guy's streaming Rocket League and he names his stream RL. I feel like it kind of limits your limitations as to what you can do and how far your token can go. And if you make a lot of them, from the professional trader point of view, it can be seen as kind of iffy and like, I wouldn't be as willing to buy versus someone who's only had one coin, has been sticking to it and grinding on it and raking up the creator fees on that same coin. That's my perspective, but what do you think?
Yeah, those are some good words of advice. I would definitely say that, from a trader's perspective, you want to appeal to them, right? Because if they trade your coin, then you're going to succeed not just by creator fees, but, the token could do quite well. People want to see that you're dedicated. So yeah, you could name the coins your name, or you could also just name it as after a specific project. I think one thing that people are a bit turned off by is, names like that are named after brands, because that kind of limits the extent to which the coin can succeed, because, you're kind of ripping off another brand's name, right? Come up with something unique. I think that's what people are looking for. And the more professional it looks, the more effort that people can see is being put into this, the better. I look at meme coins, or just coins generally, as these attention tokens. And the more energy that gets put into them to make them successful, the better they succeed and actually perform. So people need to get that signal from you. And live streaming is such a good way of showing that, because you can just turn on a cam and show people really quickly that you are serious and that you want to help others succeed.
What are the biggest mistakes that you see like new coin creators make and how can they avoid them?
That's a really good question. One thing that comes to mind is whenever someone launches a coin and they make huge promises, sometimes people lie about what they're going to be doing. I would always remain honest. I think your reputation in the space is worth so much, because if you make promises and you don't actually come through with them and then you create coins in the future, people are going to remember that, and that's going to limit how quickly you can succeed. So I think integrity, playing by the rules, and always just remaining humble and trying to exceed expectations instead of inflating expectations is incredibly important. That actually allows you to consistently hustle, grind, and grow over time. If you mess that up in the beginning and play with people's trust, then that can actually affect your long-term standing within the space.
Let's say, for example, I have an idea to create a product and I don't have the funding to do so. Let's say I go live on Pump.Fun, or I don't even have to go live. I'll take the angle of making a Twitter page for it. I launch on Pump.Fun and I try to use those fees to make my product happen. I think a lot of people are scared as well about the downside to this, and maybe they would appreciate some clarification. Let's say my project fails. Do you think that, like, because obviously, there's people out there that they don't want to rug pull. Do you think that like having a failed project, if you attempt it, is a rug pull? Also, by the way, we can skip this question if you want.
No, I'm more than happy to answer that. I actually don't think so at all. I think, people talk about rugs and other kinds of scams. They are scams. They are malicious. It's people that are intentionally looking to take advantage of others. I mean, most projects fail, right? I think traders in this space understand that. People understand what they're getting themselves into. So as long as there's effort being put in and the communication is transparent, the downside risk is relatively low. Of course, bad things can happen with any project, right? Even if you have good intentions. But as long as you remain honest and do your best, I think there's a very reasonable chance that things are not going to necessarily succeed, but that's okay. I think people just need to stick to those principles.
I think you've been very vocal about wanting to support more Pump.Fun meme coins. Let's say after watching this video, I'm very motivated to go out there and either start streaming or make my own little funny drawing of a meme coin. Maybe I make animations, maybe I make AI videos, maybe I have a really good idea to use these creator fees to feed the homeless, whatever the case may be. I launch a meme coin, I launch socials for it. How can I get your attention and how can I earn the trust of you guys to kind of help push us forward? Like how you guys have done with Troll and many other meme coins that you guys push forward in our ecosystem.
Yeah, that's a great question. We love getting involved in our ecosystem and supporting our projects. I think there's two things that we look for, generally speaking. One is a unique approach. The thing that helps our ecosystem grow most is if we actually see a diversity of creators, a diversity of ideas. Copycats just aren't that interesting to us, if you know what I mean. So that's one thing. The second thing is definitely some sort of social proof that you have convinced others, other reputable people in the space, that what you're doing is worthwhile. If Orangie, for example, is telling me that you're a good person, that you're working on this project and the project has a ton of potential, I'm a lot more likely to take that seriously because I trust Orangie. I work with him. I'm aware of what he's accomplished in the space. That's not necessarily to say that you should, pay influencers or whatnot. KOLs or influencers in the space are looking for good projects constantly. So just by working hard, showing that you have integrity and that there's potential in what you do, I'm sure you're going to be able to show some people, reputable people in the space, that what you're doing has potential.
By the way, guys, look, if you don't understand meme coins, there is thousands of people right now looking at the same page I'm looking at on whatever trading platform they choose at. There's coins coming out literally every single second, and there is literally thousands of people looking at all these coins to try to find good stuff early. If you're worried about your project not getting those initial eyes, don't worry, that is not the case at all when it comes to meme coins, especially how the market is right now. It's been a little bit slower than it once was, but you can literally go make your socials, make your website, make whatever it is that you want to in this meme coin, in your meme coin idea, and then launch the coin. And there's going to be hundreds of eyes. You're instantly going to get a freaking cupsy buy or whatever the case is. If you make a good project, you're going to get tons of eyes. Don't worry about like the initial, oh, I tried really hard and like no one saw my project, because that's not the case at all here. So look, the meme coin world needs good projects. They need good people to come out. And honestly, us traders need more opportunities to trade, and everybody just wants to make money. So Pump.Fun introducing this new update gives a lot of opportunity for good projects to actually come out, or you can take the other angle of just trading these projects. You can watch my other videos for information on how to do so. But Alan, I just want to end off this video by asking you one more question. Where do you think we're headed from here? Obviously, you guys are full-time invested into this and you're pushing for our ecosystem to continue growing, but where do you think the trenches go from here on out?
Look, I'm not going to promise that it's going to be up only or that I know exactly how things are going to play out, but I have extreme confidence that over the next months and years, this ecosystem is going to grow at a pace that nobody expects. There's no place on the internet where you can log on and earn that much that quickly. And it's not just limited to one thing. There's so many things, there's so many ways that you can get involved. I think we're going to grow tremendously. Right now, of course, with Project Ascend, we've made a massive shift in how things are created in the space, how things are traded. But I think that was necessary for growth. And we're going to continue investing in the ecosystem, whether via Project Ascend or via creating the best products for people getting started, like the Pump.Fun mobile app.
All right, guys, that was the video. Check the links in the description down below to start trading. Go on Pump.Fun, start your coin. Hopefully I'll buy it and make some money on it. Or maybe you rug me, who knows? Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace.